My name is Nancy Hanson, and I am a lucky pastor from Wisconsin. And I am now in Greece, and I'm going to turn around so you can see where I'm really at. My cinematographer Lynn is turning, and now you're looking at a rock where maybe we girls will swim to later today. This is the island of Lesbos. The island of Lesbos in Greece. It's a big island, and at the tip of the island is a community called Scala Arezzo. And in a few minutes, we're going to have the delight of interviewing one of the women that I met on a hike, and her name is Lydia. So all for now. Bye. Hello, everyone. This is our second interview, and I feel honored and thrilled that I got to join the Dutch women on a hike. And somewhere along the way, and if you're from the Netherlands or Holland, your native language is Dutch, and I'm the odd American hiking, and two young gals were so nice to me, and they automatically spoke English, and they just were friendly, and then somebody said, "So Nancy, why are you here?" And then I said, "I'm on a sabbatical," and then I said, "I'm really interested to learn about people's stories. I want to hear people's stories, and I'm really interested if anyone has ever felt hurt by the church because of being a person in a sexual minority." And then Marloes said, "Oh, Nancy, you should talk to my girlfriend."
Yes.
And then I met Lydia, and Lydia and I visited, and you and I were in the chapel for a while, and later you already read some of the book, The Divine Spark,
Yes.
and you said, "Oh, my story isn't as good as their stories." And then Jody said, "Everyone's story is really important." So then I said, "Can we hear your story a little bit?" And you said yes. You said yes, Lydia. So I am honored, and there's no way you can fail. You won't say the wrong thing. There's nothing wrong. And I will look at this, and then my end goal is if there's a young person who has same-gender attraction and they feel like the church tells them they're sinful and evil, I feel so sad for them. And so I think we're going to think about that for people that have had church messages that have been hurtful, and how can we help them? So I want to hear, what was the message when you grew up? Tell us, if you want to, what country you're from, and what was the message you heard from the church about being gay?
I come from Romania. That's a really, how do I put it in a nice way? It sounds like we are living back in time, I think, 80 years ago, in comparison, how do you call it? In vergelijking, what is it called? Vergelijking?
Comparison.
In comparison, yeah.
Yeah, with America or with Holland,
Yeah.
with the rest of the world,
Like
let's say.
80 years
Behind.
behind, yes.
We still have the carriages and all the people who are really religious,
Yeah.
and all the Sundays they go to church, and during the week they act like there's no God or something like that. But on the Sundays
wow.
they are so religious, and they only talk about God, and they only do nice stuff, let's say, nice things.
Yeah.
But they judge people if they see you. For me, as a lesbian, it's really difficult to live in Romania.
Okay.
That was one of the reasons that I left.
Yeah. Yeah, take a deep breath.
If they see you walking on the street with your girlfriend or something,
Yeah.
For women it's not at work. It's not as bad as for guys.
Oh.
Because my point of view is that some of the men are just awkward.
Mm-hmm.
And women are really different from men. Lesbian couple is more acceptable. You could have not a normal life, but somewhere really low from a normal life, let's say.
Yeah.
But if you're a guy and you are attracted to the same sex,
Yeah.
then it's terrible.
Well, how would
You get beaten on the street.
you get beat if you're gay
you
in
call-
Romania? You
Yes.
could get beaten.
you are called names, and
Okay.
everyone is mocking you.
Okay.
You feel really unhappy.
Yeah.
It's not a happy life, and that's one of the reasons why everybody just leaves Romania.
Yeah.
We choose to live in other countries where people are more open-minded.
Yeah.
And when I met her, yeah, it was really different from what I've been experiencing in my own country.
Can you explain what your country teaches or the religion in Romania taught you about being gay?
I was raised in a really religious family.
Okay.
My father is like a horse with, I don't know how to call it.
Blinders.
Yes.
Yeah, like
He
this.
only sees his way, and the other thing, for him it doesn't matter, because it has to be like the Bible says, a man with a woman, because that's how God created it.
Yeah.
And if you are different,
Yeah.
then you are just separate. You are just, how do you call that? You're just,
You should be put aside.
yeah. But that's what family does to you, your own family.
If you told, and you're not going to, but if you did tell your dad, Dad, I am a lesbian.
He would just never forgive me. He wouldn't speak with me.
You know that already.
Because sometimes he was asking me, you're so, no, you're not old, but you are at a certain age
Yeah.
and you didn't have a boyfriend.
Right.
You are alone. I think it's time for you to find a boyfriend. I think it's time for you to marry and build a family.
Yeah.
I said, that's not a thing that I want. It's not something that I want. And he just keeps pushing on that thing and pushing and pushing.
Yeah.
It's difficult.
Yeah. What you had told me this earlier. So what would your dad say? What does the church say? The Romanian church that you know about. What do they say about like same gender love?
They always preach in the church that men shall not lay with men,
Okay. Yeah.
and women also not with women, and everything has to be done as it says in the Bible. Everything has to be done as they see it. I had a lot of times the need to talk to someone
Yeah. Oh yeah.
from my own church,
Yeah.
with the pastor that we had,
Yeah.
because I had it. It wasn't an early age. I think 17 years. It's not as you are 12 or 13. But I felt like something is not right with me. I have certain feelings for women.
Yeah.
I look at them too much. I find them attractive. I think they're so good.
Yeah.
But I'm not attracted to men. How am I
Yeah.
supposed to talk this to someone that at the same time maybe can help me, but I doubt it now.
Oh,
But at the same time can just push me away and everyone will know.
God is barmachtig, hè? God is barmachtig. God vergeeft alles. Als God een woord kan vergeven, dan kan hij dit normaal doen. Toch? Dan zeggen ze toch? Dat God alles...
Lydia, you got me crying too.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay, because that means it's really important, that's all. Lydia and I have just been talking about, actually Marlus, Lydia's partner, said it probably would be important for people who don't live in Romania. We honestly don't know anything about like the consequences. So for a daughter to come out in Romania to her dad or to her church, can you explain what might happen?
If you are different,
Yeah.
if you're a lesbian,
Yeah.
the only thing that they teach you at church is that if you are attracted to the same sex,
Yeah.
God does not like that.
Yeah.
And there's no forgiveness for you anymore. And there's no chance for you to reach the heaven. They teach you that if you are doing that kind of stuff, if you're a lesbian or a gay guy,
Yeah.
God forgives everything. But that's the limit, let's say, that God goes. That's what they teach you in the church.
Yeah.
And then after you, even if you didn't do anything wrong, because I don't see how love can be a sin. Because for me, love is pure. You do nothing wrong. You just do the exact same thing that it says in the Bible. Love each other like you love yourself. And that's what you do. You love a person. It doesn't matter if it's a woman or if it's a man. As long as you love someone with everything that you have. I think that's the most important to you. And how can love be a sin? But they still teach you in the church that if you do those kind of stuff, and a final destination after you live your life, it's the hell. And for me, that's really, it's not scary. It's really, it's a terrifying thing.
Yeah.
I don't know how other people see it, but for me, it's really difficult. I still believe it.
And there's a part of you that you've heard it so much. There's a part of you that believes it. I will burn in hell. I will live my life. I've chosen to love Marluce, and I love loving her, but in the end I'll probably burn in hell. I'll probably burn in hell forever. Yeah. Lydia, do you understand that by you saying that might change someone? You know, you said you would do this if you could change one person's mind. It might.
I would believe that.
It might change one person's mind. They might think twice. And I feel like there's a sincerity in you, you know? So you've done a really brave thing. And what I'm getting, correct me if I'm wrong, is the church, when there's candles and pictures of Jesus and priests, there's a lot of power. So if they say it, it must be true.
If you hear it once or twice, it just comes here and goes on the other ear
Yes.
out.
Yeah.
But if you hear it all the time, like everything that you do, you hear it and you hear it, and at some point, it's not like you hear it only in the church. You hear it at home also if your family is a religious family, like it's like my family.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you hear that a lot, and of course it gets into your mind because you're just a kid. You don't know what's good and wrong.
Right. You don't know what's right and wrong, good or bad.
Yeah.
But you trust the authorities. You trust of all people. And
They should teach you. They should lead you on a right path. They should tell you what's good and wrong. But for them, wrong is to love someone.
Yeah.
For me, it's not like that.
Yeah.
Because for me, love is pure. It doesn't matter who you are.
Wouldn't that be something if someone could watch this and their mind would change? And so, as you know, I'm a pastor, and I have influence on other pastors. And other pastors in the United States in 2018 teach the same thing. In my little town in Wisconsin, it's still taught. Like 1 mile from my church is a church that still teaches that. Did you know that? It's still taught that homosexuality is a sin. It's still taught in America too.
I thought it's different.
It's different in some churches. So that's why I'm on sabbatical, because to me it's celebratory good news that same-gender love is love. It's worth celebrating, waving the flag. And so the people that don't understand that, we aren't going to be silent. Because I feel bad for kids. You maybe 17 is when you first felt it. Wouldn't it be fun if we could help another 17-year-olds? Yeah.
For me, my life at 17, it was, I felt like I couldn't see more than 2 meters in front of me. after 2 meters, it was just really foggy. Like I couldn't see nothing. And my family didn't help me.
Yeah.
When I first came out to my sister because we were sitting in front of a porch at home, and I couldn't hold it for myself.
Yeah.
I needed someone not to understand me or to accept it, but I needed to get it out.
Yeah.
And I told my older sister, I think I'm attracted to women.
Mm-hmm.
And her first reaction was, what would you think that would happen to our parents if they knew that?
Yeah. She's not really worried about you.
No.
She's worried about mom and dad.
And at some point I thought, what am I going to do with my life? What do I have to do? I have no one to help me.
Yeah.
I'm a believer. I think that God exists. And every time you reach out to Him, He helps you. I felt that so good on my own because I had times that I said, only your merciful hand can help me.
Yeah.
Without you, I cannot go further than this. I'm stuck. Please help me. Show me what I have to do. Take me out of this, because I cannot do it on my own. And I felt God helping me. Somewhere, I know that God loves me. And I know that He's not mad at me because I love someone that's the same sex as I do.
Yeah.
But my family does not. My sister couldn't accept that. And then my twin also not. We are with five.
In your family, you have a
siblings.
twin.
I have a twin, an older
Mm-hmm.
brother and an older sister. And she's, I think, 26.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what her answer was? When I told her,
Yeah.
she was, you embarrass her.
Yeah. What will mom and dad think? And you will be an embarrassment.
What do you think that the neighbors will think about us?
Yeah.
We're going to be outcast.
Yeah.
I used to live in a really small village where if you talk about it, you are immediately set
Shunned.
aside.
Shunned, yeah.
And no one will see you like a normal person.
Yeah.
They think that you have a disease
Yeah.
that they can, like I read in your book, they can pray the gay away.
Pray the gay away.
I asked God so many times, because I heard it in the church,
Yeah.
if you do not want me to feel like this, if it's a sin in front of you, and if I'm doing a bad stuff, a bad thing, by loving him or by feeling attracted to the same sex, please take this away from me.
Mm-hmm.
Take it away from me and make me feel normal again.
Yeah.
But it didn't go away. I prayed for 6 years. Please take this away from me because I see that it's not easy.
Yeah.
In such a small village, it's not easy. And with my family, especially my father, my mom, it's now, she's okay with it because she sees that I'm happy.
Yeah.
But if I tell my father, it's going to be a different thing.
Yeah. And your mother and father are not together anymore?
No, they are separated.
Right, right. Yeah. Well, I think you've shared so much, we might almost be done. Can you think, I've got these really great women that are filming. Any final question that you could think would be good, ladies?
I think you should ask
Marluce.
Just
Yeah.
a comment. It'll have her comment.
Yeah, Marluce. Yeah. Thanks, Jody.
Well, I think I'm not a strong believer, but I think if there is a God, then he or she loves us all. It doesn't matter who you love because she or he forgives you. So that's my comment.
Yeah.
That's all. he or she will love us all. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me. And I know God will love you. So you will end up okay.
I hope so.
We go to heaven together. Yeah?
Place to stop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lovely. I was going to ask Lydia, is there anything any words of advice or wisdom you could give to someone who is in your struggle as a 17-year-old? Any words you could say that to help them through?
God will send you angels.
Now I know that God loves us. I felt it on my own skin. And if they're having a bad time, if they're going through a rough time, they should just pray to God, because God helps them, and He will help them go through everything that happens to them. Is it either from the family that they get rejection from their family, or from the society, or even from the church? They should just ask God's help, because He always helps you, and He loves you no matter what.
It's beautiful.